How's it going, everyone? So I messed with the mic a little bit so that I finally found the gain option in the properties, and you know, when you delegate this kind of stuff, and Craig's working behind the scenes. He's working hard, but he's got a lot of responsibilities. He doesn't necessarily see all the gain stuff. Hey Sally, how's it going? He doesn't necessarily see all the gain, so I have to step in and do my thing. So I messed with the microphone quite a bit. I hope that it sounds good. Sally in the chat, does the microphone sound good? I don't sound distorted or weird. Craig is useless, fire him. Well, this is the thing. I would fire Craig, but he's seen too much at this point. He's basically unfireable. There's a lot that happens behind the scenes in comics that it's unspeakable. Sounds good to you? Good. In messing with the gain, I can be this far away from the mic and not have to be eating the thing to communicate to you, which is awesome. And it's something that I wanted to mess with. Craig is useless, murder him. Now we're talking. Craig's a good guy. He's working hard. He's doing the best he can. All right. Okay. So, at the top, I don't know that there's really a whole lot to talk about. I'm working on the Realm number 10 this week, by the way. We got Nightwing out last week. Worked on some of Heartthrob number 1, but didn't quite get done with it. Have to shelf that until we get the Realm out the door. The Realm number 10 is the last issue in the arc, and I'm putting a lot into it. It's been really fun. It's kind of taking on a life of its own as far as digital painting itself. So I'm taking a break from digital painting comic books to digital paint. Look, what is digital painting anyway? How can we even define that? You think there's juice or soup in that bat thermos? It's definitely soup, because the computer has a cold. Look, I am the virus in the 1960s Batman movie, or Batman TV show. There's probably stuff out. I think Nightwing 48 and 49 are out. The Realm 9 just came out. What else is out? I don't know. There's a bunch of go down to your local comic shop. I don't know. What I can't do everything for you. It's cold in Florida in September. Yeah, right. Nice and cold. I am sweating like crazy. So all the time. I'm sweating all the time. Okay, so we got to approach this thing, and we're trying to embrace beige, like I was saying before. I think that what we're gonna try to do is mostly my impulse is to light it from behind, so that this gets kind of put into shadow here. This is the Rubicon. This is the Rubicon. I don't even know what that word is. Hey Mike, what's up, man? Mike Oeming in the chat. We're gonna mess up your sketchbook right now. Yeah, this is so we have to kind of figure out how to make her face only have features on one side with the lighting. This is the Rubik's Cube. Yeah, exactly. So, and I also want to highlight the clavicles because Mike did that in the line art. And we're gonna make all the dress bling and stuff. So we have to figure that out. Now, what in the hell does that mean? Does that mean that we could light her from let's do a little thing. So we could light her from behind, kind of do this kind of thing, and into the eye there, and then you know, hard shadow here kind of thing. Like, and this like kind of works. Everything I was doing is wrong. Start over. Wow. Like this will kind of work. But like I think it'll be too much of a transition here. Like I think that this will look too weird. Cuz we have to like really lighten this up on this side. And this is trash, but this is us just like spitballing ideas. We could like kind of like smoke it out, kind of like you know, like take her mid-tone here, and then like as it gets to this side, instead just be like, oh, we're just gonna get more and more like the background, you know, like kind of like fade her back. We haven't even started yet, Mike. It's not looking beautiful yet. So like we could kind of do it that way, and then like kind of pull the hair out. This is the thing, when we're like working with the hair and stuff, we can keep it like nice and black here, but then like, you know, fade it back like this, so that it all kind of like push pulls in a way. I think maybe that's the way we want to handle it, but you have a suggestion on how to make this work, but you don't think I want to hear it? Is it hot pink everywhere, Fake McCoy? So like, yeah, like this is the problem is, so there's a couple things going on. Like we can do something like that where we will take like, let's take like a weird toothy brush and just kind of like smoke it out kind of thing. And like maybe that's like an interesting kind of motif for like the whole piece. Like kind of just make it smoky and like the figure is disappearing or like half formed. Oh god. I actually checked. You guys are messing with me and I checked. So like we could do it like that, but I kind of want to like, I don't know. I kind of want to make a reason for this, you know? And so I think the light, because of that, the hot pink everywhere. Yeah. I think the light has to be going like this, because I think we're gonna make this like entirely dark. And because we're gonna be trying to like digital paint, we can control all the blacks and everything. No, wait, you missed it. Are you messing with me? I have to. Oh my god. You're preying on you're preying on me. This is not okay. Look. Don't think I won't ban you, Mike Oeming. I will ban you in a second in this chat room. Best behavior. Come on. So like we can kind of like make the light hit her on this direction and put like a core shadow in like this kind of thing. We should do this on another layer. So we can kind of like we can kind of like core shadow something like this, and maybe make the light higher. Maybe make the light like higher. Like this is we're in the weeds. Maybe make the light higher like this, so that it's like here, in the clavicle, here, like that. This looks like madness right now. Trust me, it's gonna make sense. This looks like madness, but this will make sense eventually. But we can kind of like, you know, roll with it this way, and then like, you know, obviously have more light in the rib cage, maybe like here. And then, you know, we'll figure out the dress like that, and then kind of take the core shadow and put it through the body as well. Something like that, maybe. Is this the real life? Is this a wild fantasy? I don't know. I thought you were finished. Yeah. Do I often sketch out light source or ideas? Well, we're digital painting, so this digital painting is not something that I'm like 100% comfortable with. If this was comics, I would just be like, oh, well, just comics. I know comics. Let's just comics. And I just puke comics onto the page. And then, but like this is something that is a little different, a little something that I got to think about. So because of that, I think I kind of want to walk through light sources, just like talk it out. Because I know that if I'm going to be digital painting, the light sources, and beige is something beige is definitely something I'm not comfortable with. But yeah, so if I'm going to be digital painting, like I kind of want to walk through the light sources just so that they're clear in my head. A lot of times with comics, just because I've been doing them for so long, I can kind of just wing it. But this is going to be more technically savvy. So let's take the figure. One of the things with digital painting, and this is kind of how I view it, is it's just like another step in regular comic book making. Like when we talk about comics, there's like you know, cuts, like it looks like a cartoon, like we just go in here and we're just like, okay, like cut, you know, we're like tracing out the highlights so that we can put in the shadows. And like obviously I'm going really fast and sloppy here for purpose of example. But like, you know, you do something like that and then you add a shadow in, and like you're done, quote unquote. Like this is one way to do it. And then from here you can get more complicated by being like, okay, from this point I'm going to go in and I'm going to add, you know, gradients of color. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to add a gradient through this whole thing. So it kind of makes it like more complicated, and you can get as like fine detailed as you want. You know, you can kind of go in and be like, all right, we're going to throw one in through here, and we're going to throw one in through the head, and like we're fast and loose right now, baby. Like don't judge me. Everyone in the chat, Craig, don't judge me. So we kind of have like something like this, and then from here it's like, okay, we can kind of like paint in highlights, you know, like we're gonna paint in some weird like kind of highlights, and like we put some highlights in the arm and highlights over here, and like, oh, I'm judging. I wouldn't expect anything less from the chat than pure judgment. You know, you can put in like highlights and then maybe like a secondary light source. Like we could go in and be like, okay, secondary light source, you know, something like this. And like those are kind of like different depending on like what you want for the book, how you want to build the book. These are kind of like different steps that you can take, and how much time you have is also a factor. And how important the scene is and the storytelling. There's a lot of different factors into like how you manage the rendering on a page. So yeah, Mike knows how it's done around here. So like, in my opinion, digital painting takes like from this step of like we did the cuts, we did the grads, we put in the highlights. It goes from here and goes, okay, well, what if we just didn't stop? What if we just kept going? What if we painted it so well that we don't need the lines anymore? What if we like moved to a place where like this, like it's just a painting, You know, a lot of comic book coloring is this like weird half step between just flat illustration and, you know, digital painting. It's like right in the middle. So with that in mind, I think we're just gonna color her and then figure out what we're gonna do. I posted on Twitter, if you came here from Twitter, that I was going to talk about time management and mania. Watching you break down a drawing that had no thought into coloring at all, or even as a fully realized drawing. Yeah. So here's the thing, too, since you're in the chat, and I could talk directly to you. I think that, and I talked about this a little bit with Chad Thomas. Let me show you the other digital painting that we did on stream, just for posterity, and let me boot that up. Give me a second. I gotta find it. Where is she? Is this it? This is it. So let me find the lines too. Let me see if I still have those. I don't still have the lines, apparently, because I'm a maniac that throws everything away. So here's a digital painting that I did of the vulture. This is by Chad Thomas. If you Google Chad Thomas, I guarantee you will not find digital paintings. You will find like very basic, like cut and grad kind of stuff with his line art. His line art is extremely cartoony. As you can kind of tell, like we have, you know, this giant chin and giant nose. Like the vulture has all these exaggerated features that you find in like cartoony stuff. Hey, thank you for the follow, Chase Cat. So like I wanted to take Chad's work and push it into a different direction. I wanted to take it and be like, okay, so you know Chad Thomas like this, you know him as a cartoony, he works on a lot of like TMT kid books, TMNT, Ninja Turtles kids books. You know him as that. Like what if we took what he does and we pushed it into like a more serious place? What if we took it and we treated it like a digital painting? You know, we can breathe new life into a creator that way. We can try something new. And a lot of stuff that you see from Mike is usually the finished stuff, not the sketchbook stuff. Which, by the way, Mike has a great Patreon that you should check out, where he posts a lot of behind the scenes stuff, posts a lot of tutorials, how he works, blah 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 blah. You should check it out. So like this is a sketch. This is not made for consumption. This is also an opportunity to like try something new, to try like to zig when everybody else is zagging. If you take finished Mike Oeming work and you give it to a colorist, 9 times out of 10, maybe even checks in the mail, maybe even like 10 times out of 10, you're going to receive something that looks like Powers. You're going to receive something that looks like Takio. You're going to receive, you know, like something along those lines, because that's how his work's been done for so long. Even before I came along and started working on it, it was done in that way. So the goal here is to just take this and do something completely different. Like trying to innovate in a place that's like a little bit different, you know? And I think that stuff can be fun. And I'm not fast enough to do this for like an entire book, but we can do it on stream. We're like hanging out. Like, we're just hanging out. Be cool. Everybody be cool. All right. So, if you came from Twitter, you would have noticed that I was talking. I've had this like Not fast enough yet. Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you what's different, but you're not going to want to hear it. I mean, is it the need for hot pink? I feel like you have a what is it? A brand, Fake McCoy. You're definitely milking that brand. So yeah, if you came from Twitter, I posted up there that I kind of wanted to talk about time management as a segue into my own mania. I think that most comic book artists have like a little bit of mania. Like there's something that like, well, we're going to talk about time management first. So if you're in the Discord, and by the way, you should join my Discord. The link's right down below. One of the things that we're going to be doing in the Discord lately, I'm gonna do soon, is we have a room called art tutorials, which is a lot of like how to draw. Like somebody posts, you know, Jen Bartel or somebody like that, like posts, you know, like this is how I did, you know, braided hair. Like this is the way I thought about it, you know, step-by-step stuff. But I noticed there's also a lot of like tools that are being posted, like brushes and things like that. And I think I'm going to make a separate section for that, so it's easily like on hand for everybody else. So if you show up late, or you're watching this, you know, years from now on YouTube, and you're like, oh, I really want to get a hold of some brushes or whatever, beyond the Kyle Webster brushes that come packed in with Photoshop, like, you know, it might be a good place to look for that. I'm going to try to make it a place. It was something that I wanted to track down all the brushes that have been posted, because like I'm in a little bit of a brush rut right now. I'm using kind of the same one over and over again. And so I was like, well, if I'm trying to look for them, maybe somebody else is. And if somebody else is, maybe we should like fix this in the Discord. So the Discord is always a work in progress. And if you're in the Discord, you know that I have been straight goofing it with the sketchbook challenge. The sketchbook challenge, like it has been. I don't think I've had a consistent week in months. I was trying to figure out exactly why that is. Why, for whatever reason, I can't seem to have like not even a consistent like 5 days. Like I can't even get 5 days in a row, which was very, very easy for me for the first like 7 months of the sketchbook challenge. Sketchbook challenge being draw every day. Like new page in the sketchbook, sit down and draw, post it up. No judgments, no nothing with the sketchbook challenge. We just want to encourage each other to draw all the time, because guess what? That's how you get better. No one's posting. Yeah, so like I was posting a ton. I filled the sketchbook this year, which is, I went from not drawing at all to filling a sketchbook before like middle of the year. And I was kind of like, shit, like, why am I not able to do that right now? Why is that not happening for me anymore? Like, why is it such a like hard knock for me to like be working in the sketchbook again? Like, I have the desire to draw. I go to sleep and I think about it. I think about drawing. I think about composition. I think about like all these things. When I'm working on comic pages, I think about like, oh, this would be great if the lighting was a little different. Like, that would be a fun thing to draw. Maybe like a riff on like what I'm working on. Like Pinterest has started like tagging me in. You're gonna do Inktober again this year. That's awesome. Quiet City, Sally. Same thing happens with me. You can fill a sketchbook in less than a month and then nothing for a while. So, like, I know that I have this in me, and like I was honestly like getting kind of like upset with myself that it wasn't happening. Like I was like, how is it happening before and not happening now? Like, what's changed in those couple of months? And I realized I started like breaking down my time management, and this is something that I think is important to be aware of. I was taking a walk with Shannon, and Inktober. yeah, Inktober is a trial by fire. I don't know how much of it I'm going to try to participate a little bit in Inktober, but I don't know if I can do every day. I don't have a backlog of like penciled stuff. Like, unless I go straight to inks, like we're talking about like 5 hours of work for me every day for no reason. So I don't know. I don't know how much Inktober. I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to post a little bit. But yeah, so I was on this walk with Shannon, and by the way, walking is great, clears your head. And I was telling her, I was like, man, you know, like I was able to fill up the sketchbook. I don't know what's going on with me. Like I don't know what the problem is. And she was like, well, you've been really like messing with video games a lot lately. And I was like, you cut down to Bristol to 5x7 pieces and work small. Yeah. Matt Garvey, welcome to the stream. You don't get Inktober either. I think Inktober is like a really good thing. This is the thing with Inktober. So I think if you are a working artist, you don't necessarily need Inktober. If you're like working for Marvel, DC, whatever, and you're like, I don't think Inktober is necessarily for you. I think Inktober is a way for newer artists to showcase their work with a popular hashtag and like a bunch of newer artists to come together and pool their resources. Now, if you're a maniac like Becky Cloonan, you're just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to do this on top of everything else. I say maniac in like the nicest way possible because her work is amazing, but she'll just like crank out Inktober stuff like nothing, and I'm just I don't know, it just flows out of her. It's nuts. It seems to, at least. I'm sure that it is an intense amount of work. At any rate, so I'm on this walk, and Shannon says, you know, like, you've been putting a lot of time into video games, but I haven't been playing video games. If you are regular on this stream, we were going to become PS3 sports champions this weekend, and that didn't really happen. And I realized it's not playing video games, it's like messing with like the entire tech side. You just got that Inktober sketchbook looks awesome, by the way, Ron. Ron Salas is also an incredibly talented artist, and you guys should all follow him on Twitter. I don't know if he streams. Apparently he has a Twitch channel. Do you stream, Ron? If you do, I want to watch. But yeah, I was like putting time into the tech side of it. You don't stream. You're just signed up for Twitch. I get you. Well, good to see you in the chat. Maybe you will stream in the future, and then I can figure out how you do what you do, because it blows my mind. But yeah, so I realized that it wasn't that like I was playing a lot of games. Like, instead of playing a game on stream, like I said I was going to, which is something that I wanted to do, instead, I think that my brain got in the way. Like, I think that my mania got in the way. I get the same kind of feeling from figuring out a page and coloring it well, that I do from figuring out like tech solutions. it's like the way that I'm wired is to like sit down and figure out problems. And this is only something that I'm like starting to figure out now. Now, if you remember, this is the beige challenge, so we're gonna try to keep it beige. But I also hate beige. Fuck beige. So we're gonna not beige it up. Does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense? Okay. Well, here we are. Yeah, don't look at me. What's up, Kate? So I realized that like what I did instead of streaming for you wonderful people, like I wanted to, was I messed with trying to get the Wii to a place where I was ripping games that I owned onto a hard drive, and updating all of that, and then updating all the WiiWare on it, and none of that fucking matters. Like I'm not ready to stream any of that stuff, but like the like neuroses in my brain is like, you can't leave this unfinished. We have to solve this. Yeah, Nick Flaherty, the man who gives himself a challenge and then intentionally fails at it. Yeah, like this is the thing, is like I didn't even realize that this stuff was like getting in the way, because my like the way that I work is like I have to figure this thing out, and then once I figure this thing out, then I can move to the next thing to figure this out. And I can't move to the next thing to figure this out because I need to figure this thing out, you know? So like, you know, I was busy wrapped up in this idea of like, okay, like to give you guys an idea of like the level of mania that I had with this. You're gonna go lurk? Nice. To give you guys an idea of the level of mania that I had with this, in the past couple of months while I wasn't doing the sketchbook challenge, I broke down 2 pieces of IKEA furniture that were in here and were totally fine to work with. Broke those down, took them to the dumpster, replaced them, built 2 other new pieces to be working with the setup that I have, rearranged the consoles, built a new kind of like setup with them, worked on researching, trying to figure out resolutions and stuff, trying to yes, Kate. I was working on trying to figure out resolutions for older consoles to try to get them upscaled for the stream. You missed an opportunity building the IKEA furniture. There's an odd niche for that. That's weird. I don't know if I would stream that. So like this is, by the way, this brush that I'm using right now is the weird place that I've fallen into with my brush rut, but it's like this toothy thing that I kind of love. It would have been hilarious. It would have been boring. Like, I've built so much IKEA furniture now that I know how to do it. It's not me being frustrated or awkward. It's just like I just do it and then it's done. But yeah, so like not only was it that, but it was also doing the research to figure out how to line double my Genesis console so that it puts out a higher resolution, and then get that higher resolution to be accepted within the capture card and things like that. Like a lot of like really technical stuff that like I don't need to figure out, first of all, but like if I'm building that whole thing, I can't sit here and like, it feels like it's unfinished. It feels like I've started a thing and I haven't followed through. You like building IKEA furniture with like meditation? Yeah. I agree. It's like, it's just chill. You put on chill music. Yeah. You just kind of get it done. I don't know what we're doing down here in this skirt. I think maybe we gotta slow down and figure it out. So in my mind, I was like, well, I'm going to finish this, and then we're going to get back to like all the other stuff that we're doing. Hold on. Everybody hold on. Let's figure out the actual shadows in this skirt. And let's try to remind ourselves where the light source is. And kind of fix where our head is at. Because I'm getting sucked into what I'm talking about. So the problem that I was having was it was a task that was never ending. Much like comic book coloring is a task that's never ending. When I like sit down and do pages, and it is like, at this point in my career, it's like, what do we do today? Oh, I sit down and I solve all these problems. And this is why it's hard for you to get back into work. When you were first moving into your new place, everything had to be moved and finished and all set up and all the paperwork finished before you could concentrate. Yeah. So I think that there is a level of mania that like all comic book artists and maybe all artists have with process and trying to get something finished. At least a lot of the artists that like, I don't want to call anybody out, but like there's a lot of 90s artists who are like not making stuff anymore, and there's a lot of 90s artists that are still making stuff. I would say that the 90s artists that are still making stuff have like a little bit of this mania where they just like can't stop. You know, like they see a problem and they're like, I need to fix this. This is what I do. Like I can, like, they finish a thing and then they're like, I can do this a little better. They finish a thing and they're like, I can do this a little better. They finish a thing. Like that kind of mania is something that I feel like is not uncommon for artists. And one of the things that like never really hooked me, like I love to draw. Drawing like cracks me up. Like I like drawing like dumb, silly cartoons. I like thinking about this stuff, but when I sit down and draw, I don't think of it as like a set of problems. When I look at a bunch of like when I look at like a blank page, I don't see like a bunch of problems that I have to work out. Like I see a blank page and I'm like, I sit down and I'm like, we're gonna have fun and like relax and like chill. But like I look at line art, and I'm like, the artist really goofed it on this. Good old Nick Filardi coming in to save the day. You know, like I see the problems that people have within the line art, in order to to be fixed. And I think that this needs to be like adjusted in my brain. Like I have to like work on fixing this. If I want to, you know, if I want to draw regularly, if I want to draw regularly, I have to like beat my brain into thinking about this stuff. You know, all my problems. Yeah. So like I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days because like my mania got pointed from my sketchbook, which I was like all over, as like a task. Like this is a task, we have to finish this. And then it shifted after that sketchbook was done to like an endless task of fixing every single console that I own in a way that works with the computer, in a way that like I was contemplating last night. I was like, okay, how do I get like the console to work with the television in a way that broadcasts to the computer, but then I also have mic'd up Discord chat in my ear, talking with them, as well as playing on the computer without any lag. Like all of this stuff, trying to get this all to work is an endless problem, because like I didn't start thinking about that stuff until the other night, and I'm like, when Shannon was like, you've been putting a lot of time into you know, all the wait, how does this fold go? speaking of stuff we got to put time into, she's like, you gotta like put time into the stuff that you want to. You've been putting a ton of time into this, and I didn't even realize. Like, my mania was like fix this, then do all the other stuff. Sketchbooks should always be fun. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree. Which is why the sketchbook challenge exists in the Discord without criticism, because I don't want anybody to feel like experimentation needs to be judged. That's not where the sketchbook challenge lives. Which is weird because I'm going to fold in the sketchbook challenge to Inktober, and Inktober I feel like is full of judgment because you put it out publicly. I don't know. Whatever. Like, dude, we're all doing the best we can, just like Craig. So yeah, here's in full disclosure, here's what's going on. The Wii is not still totally fixed, and I'm trying to emotionally come to grips with the fact that that's okay. We're not even using it on stream. My open source scan converter to upscale stuff, it has some problems with it. I may need to return the console and get a new one. I'm trying to be emotionally okay with that. You saw people already posting Inktober albums. Like, please, it's September. Yeah, right. I can never think that way. Always have to have pressure to produce finished stuff. Yeah, man. Well, so it's funny that you say that, because like, right now my battle is just like pencil to paper. I need to make something. Like, it doesn't need to be finished. It needs to be anything. But that's going to be the next hurdle, is like, okay, I'm consistently making things. None of it is finished. It's totally directionless. Where do we go from here? You know, that's going to be the next mountain to climb for sure. But before we start, you know, to make it like a gym analogy, right now I'm just trying to get in the gym on a regular basis. I'm not taking like protein powder and like trying to bulk up, you know? Which is like, I don't know, a direction for gym stuff, I guess. I guess. So, yeah. When I started breaking down, to swing back around to time management, when I started to break down like where my time was going, like, I need 2 hours a page, roughly 4 to 5 pages a day. That's 8 to 10 hours. If I do that, and then I do an hour of sketchbook, we're at like 11 hours. If I do that, an hour of sketchbook, and the stream, we're up to like 13, 14 hours. My problem and like, this is the space I want to live in. Like, emotionally, this is where I want to live. Because it gives me enough time to like hang out with Shannon and like, you know, get everything done that I want to get done. And still have like, you know, weekends off and stuff like that. But protein powder is useful even if you don't go to the gym. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it is. I'm just saying. I'm trying to make an analogy of something I don't know about. So I was like, well, shit. If I'm spending like, even just like, I woke up today and I spent an hour just messing with the Wii. Even just adding in that hour puts an immense amount of pressure. Like, I know I'm doing this to myself, but it puts an immense amount of pressure to be like, okay, well, now I gotta work faster on my pages because I want to stream today. And it's like, well, I'm streaming today, but I didn't do any sketchbook challenge, and that's a bummer. Like, you know, what are we going to do about that? And then it's like, well, you know, meanwhile, I'm like tinkering with the Wii and like researching games and like downloading some torrents and like figuring out how the wads work. You know, like all that stuff takes time. And I don't think that it's time like that's complete, like you shouldn't spend your time that way. I'm just saying that like if you are at home and you are having problems figuring out how to manage your time, I would say be conscious of the things that are keeping you up at night. Be conscious of the things that you're thinking about when you're going to bed and the things that you're thinking about when you wake up in the morning. Because those are the things that are like pulling your focus. And if those are not the things that like are where you want to be putting your focus, like objectively, make adjustments. Do I keep a planner? You have a planner and plan out your day? My days are so similar that largely I do not keep a planner. You have a planner and it's like plan out your day and other stuff comes up. You give yourself a time limit. Yeah. This skirt is like impossible for me to figure out. Thanks, Mike. Like I feel like I'm trying to give form to something that may not have form. If that makes any sense at all. Maybe we just need to work harder on the skirt. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. If we have to like kind of like flat cartoon it, we will. But I'm not ready to admit defeat yet. But yeah, so like, you know, be conscious of where you put your time. And here's the other thing is like, not only how do the legs go? I honestly, this is like a sketchbook page from Mike, and I don't know if he was, how do the legs go? Ron, you just broke my brain in like 5 words. How do the legs go? Do we gotta pack it up for the day? Like, I'm fucking tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be like, how do the legs go? How do the legs go? That's an incredible question. Sorry. It's okay. It's just I wasn't thinking about it. And here's the thing. Here's and this is exactly why I'm like trying to figure out we're gonna okay. Your last comment about October is that you're looking forward to it and doing it because you got a lot of digital inking lately and need to shake that up. Yeah. I actually bought a actual bottle of ink, which I have not owned in my house in like 14 years, maybe, like a long time. And I'm going to break out my Winsor Newton Series 7 number 2 and like figure that out. So, hey, let's figure out where the legs go. Is it like... So, what I was going to say about the mania and all of that is that, like, in trying to figure out, like, where do the legs go? By the way, part of the reason why I'm like want to invest time in sketchbooks and want to invest time in, you know, all of that kind of thing is because this question of like, where do the legs go? This will inform your other decisions. Like, instead of like thinking about the skirt, if I was a more seasoned professional, you're gonna wake up in a cold sweat at 3 a.m. thinking about those legs. Yeah. If I was a better artist in general, I would have thought about the legs. Like Ron has thought about structure. When like you are a penciler, you think about structure a lot, and he thinks a lot about the underdrawings of things. I was not thinking about the legs because I was only thinking about the skirt because I'm a colorist, and so I'm trying to like bend my brain to think about this other stuff in order to be a better colorist as well as an artist in general. because I think that's like where my next level up is going to be. Where do the legs go? Like hips, leg, like leg, foot, something like this, like she's sitting on the legs kind of thing. Is that where the legs go? Is that where the legs go? Is that where the legs go? Sounds like a follow-up song to What Does the Fox Say? Yeah. Nick, where do the legs go? Filardi is the only nickname that doesn't work. You're not wrong. I think that's where the legs go. But her hands are like in her lap, so maybe they don't go there. Maybe they're like slightly pushed apart. At any rate, trying to think about this time management stuff has like lured me into a like, because I overthink things. I don't know if you guys can tell that I overthink things, because like I've started to think about, you know, like maybe the foot is not over there. Maybe the feet are just like straight up behind her, like this. Maybe it's knee here, legs in the back. I think that's it. This makes sense, right? Right, stream? This is where the legs go. Fuck, I don't know. Goddamn art. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I think there's like a knee here and a knee here, and they kind of like fold back, and then like foot kind of thing. Which makes this not make any sense. Which is, I think, what was tripping me up. Oh, we just drew right on the thing. We're gonna redraw that. Leg, knee, foot, leg. Roughly. Forgive my arting. All right, let's try to keep that in mind. Yeah. So like this idea of like time management kind of made me think about general mania of artists in a different kind of way. You don't think she has legs? Yeah. I started to think about like, it made me remember, like, I hate cliche art bullshit. Like, she's an octopus under the skirt. Yeah. I hate cliche art bullshit. Like, I hate it. I feel like there's a phrase that a lot of cliche artists use where it's like, oh, I do this because I can't do anything else. Like, and it like, oh, it makes my skin crawl, because it's just like, oh, this is my call. You know, like, it's just like, dude, it's like super self-important. I don't know. Like, but I started thinking about it, and I was like, maybe there's a little bit of truth in there, in that, like, and I don't think this is true of all artists or all people, but like, maybe there's a little bit of truth in there that like a mania that drives you, like, you need to point it in a direction. And I started thinking about like, okay, well, if I'm this way, if I'm in a place where she's sitting like the Land O'Lakes lady. We gotta look up the Land O'Lakes lady now. If I am this way, we're gonna find the Land O'Lakes lady. this stream apparently brought to you by Land O'Lakes. Don't worry about it. Have some butter. You know that Eric Canetti literally gets withdrawals if he doesn't draw something every 5 hours? This is the Land O'Lakes lady. Okay. So let's figure that out. Let's put this over here. I think I was kind of starting to get there. Yeah, so I was thinking about like, okay, well, if I'm like trying to solve problems, if that's what makes me a good colorist, like not looking at the blank page and seeing problems, but like, you know, looking at a page with line art and solving it. Hey, thank you for the follow, more Colin Art. Your neighbor growing up was a Land of Lakes farmer? Oh my god. We're deep in the stream, I guess. I don't know. This is weird. This is turning into a Land of Lakes stream. Where did your Land of Lakes farmer's legs go? That's the important part of all this. I feel like we're gonna, like, I'm making it really complicated, and I feel like we're gonna just end up with just like, it's just color, and then we're just gonna move on. I don't know. We'll find out. But I do want to figure out the skirt, because figuring out the skirt is important to the whole image. In tall boots, affectionately called shit kickers. How many lakes were in this land? So many lakes. Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, if like I do have this mania to like solve problems, and if this mania is what's driving me to solve the computer problems, and this mania is also driving me to solve, like, when I thought that, when I felt like, okay, well, maybe this is a mania that's like driving me to color pages, the first thing I thought of was, there was a time when I was in my 20s, like early 20s, living in Philadelphia, and a buddy of mine, a couple friends of mine from Connecticut were in town, and we went out drinking for New Year's. They were in town for New Year's, and like you do when you're 20, legs, get out of here. Like you do when you're 20, you drink to excess, and or at least I did at the time. I'm not endorsing it, but I remember drinking to excess, waking up the next day, and like everybody else is sleeping in, my alarm goes off, and I started coloring a cover for that day that I wanted to turn in tomorrow, that I wanted to get done and out of the way before I could work on the next thing. Like, and if that's not mania, I don't know what is. Like, because, and I remember my friend being like, you know, like, what are you doing? Like, like, not like, what are you doing? Like, I'm worried about you, but just like, dude, go back to bed, you know? Like, and I think that for whatever reason, this like little bit of mania that I had, like, helped me out, helped me get out of bed and like do some coloring, helped me, you know, like make consistent finished work for a while, gave me a little bit of a leg up, and like to the point where it was like, well, I can figure out how to control this mania. I can build myself a regular schedule around it. I can live like I'm not saying that I'm like mentally disturbed. I'm saying that, like, you know, this little bit of mania that I had kind of made me able to keep going when things were hard. And I think that stuff You were doing spirit. Mike is texting me. I don't know why he's texting me because I think he was in the chat. Mike was doing spirit sketches when his son was born, is what he said. Mania can be a good thing. Yeah, like I really feel like it like clicked in my brain of that shitty thing that artists say where it's like, well, I wouldn't be doing anything else. Like I can't do anything else. Cause like everybody can do something else, you know, like, you know, you can put me in a white collar job. I'll do an okay job and probably a better job than some white collar jobs, you know, but like the mania that's driving me is one that's like, let's solve problems and like, let's solve endless problems. And so lately, now that I've like kind of come to that conclusion, I'm like, okay, well, if my mania is like, we're going to solve endless problems, then maybe we can make that work for us with other things. You know, like maybe that mania can drive a sketchbook challenge. Maybe that mania can drive Inktober. Maybe that mania can drive, you know, that damn book that we wrote, Curse of the Iron Chef. Like maybe that mania can get me going again with Curse of the Iron Chef, where I see problems, but like I have to adjust the way that I look at a blank page, where I like normally look at a blank page and I'm like, oh, we're just going to mess around. Like I need to start thinking about it. Like, how do I solve this problem? And once I think that I'm able to like adjust my mindset, which I don't even know if that's possible, you know, like I don't know if like we're messing around with like the core of my being, like who I am as an individual. Like at this point, but it's like, it's worth trying, you know, it's worth like trying to figure out what is and isn't going to fuel what I'm working on. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's all the stuff that I'm thinking about in the last couple of days. This is like kind of heavy stuff. I would say too that if you are out there and you are like, you know, I would say that anyone should try coloring comics, full stop. Like, because if you love comic books and you're curious about the medium, like, everybody's done doodling before. Not everyone has colored comics before or tried to, you know. Not everyone has tried to figure out like how coloring works. It'll not only give you perspective on like the medium, but it'll give you perspective on like the craft and like how things are made and like all these kinds of things. I think something, if you're a comic book fan, I feel like you should just try it. You should just try it. I feel like every comic book fan that wants to be serious about understanding comic books should put together a 3-panel gag and pencil, ink, color, letter, the whole thing. Like 3-panel gag, 3 images, not that big of a deal. Just like try it. It's not like 400-page magnum opus or anything. You just like try it and go. Trying to figure out if we're like lighting, we should have like highlight. How does the arm go? Like kind of this kind of thing. We're fast and loose right now, guys. Be patient with me as I figure this out. Again, we are trying to figure out digital painting. Like, that's the point of this. I don't know if we're getting there or not. At some point, we're going to start abandoning the lines. So yeah, in the next like month or so, or maybe the rest of my life, I'm going to start to try to figure out how to adjust my own mania to get it to work for me. You know, how to figure that out. We're like super casual digital painting. I was using that hard edge brush, and maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should be using this guy. This is the dirty brush that I've been using on everything. This dirty brush, by the way, it's a Chun Lo brush I got from his Patreon. Her Patreon? I don't know, actually. Their Patreon. And it's fantastic for the realm. Nick's gonna be on his deathbed. I'm gonna be standing over him, shaking at him. Where's Curse of the Iron Chef? Yeah, let's harness the mania and make some fucking comics. Here's the thing with Curse of the Iron Chef that like kind of tripped me up initially, because I was pretty gung-ho about it. Curse of the Iron Chef, for anyone that doesn't know, we plot it and wrote it on stream. But this happened so long ago that like any new viewers probably don't remember this. So yeah, like I took suggestions from the stream, kind of like filtered it into a usable like outline, cut some stuff from the stream that I didn't necessarily really want to draw, or stuff that didn't necessarily fit, kind of like edited ideas that you guys were throwing out. Like the Food Network show. So Curse of the Iron Chef is it is the Food Network show, like a comic. It is a 1 part Iron Chef, 1 part D&D like curse. It's something that I think is actually like a really great idea. It's not something that I thought where we were gonna end up. Like I had actually, when we started that stream, I actually had a couple ideas that were like in the can, ready to go, because I didn't know like what kind of feedback the stream was going to give me. I didn't know like where we were going to end up, like, and if I had to like steer everyone in a direction, I was going to do that. But I didn't have to. Turns out you guys kind of knew what you wanted. And if you want to like check out those streams, they are on YouTube, youtube.com/NickPhil. There's a playlist of Curse of the Iron Chef. The thing about it is, like, I wanted to be like, hey, anyone can make comics. Like, you just go. And that's true, and I stick by that. However, I did not just go. Instead, I just went away. Part of the reason for that is that I realized, okay, if I do this on stream, I was like, I'm not used to streaming for more than like a couple hours at a time. And when you make a comic book, you really got to like sit down and like focus and work. You know, like the amount of time that you spend at like a table is a big deal. It's a lot, you know? So, okay. All right. What are we doing? How are we handling this? We're certainly beige. I think that, like, guys, is it crazy? Am I crazy here? Are we going to pull this blue out of here? Maybe. We're going to use that blue from the Land O'Lakes lady. Let's let's kind of use the background here and paint in our light source on this layer. Iron Chef was going to make us all rich, and he gave up on it, and I hate you for this. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to see the scripting and everything, the whole point was like you can make a comic, you just have to go. And then I realized like, oh shit, making comics is a lot of work. I'm not used to being on stream. At the time I was using bulbs that were not LED, and to light the green screen for like more than an hour was a nightmare. Like I was just sweating, like just crazy sweating. So if you look at the interview that I did with Jeremy Hahn back in the day, not really back in the, I mean, I've only been doing this for a little while, but that interview in particular, let's see, is there cool brushes in here? Let's, oh God. Is this a toothy brush? Like, what is this brush even doing? Hello? Photoshop? Hello? We need to shelf this brush immediately. Oh God. It's all off the rails. It's thinking real hard. It's slowly crafting it right over here. This is a good like little intermission, I guess. Yeah, so we're never going to use this brush again. But yeah, so I was still trying to figure out stream stuff, and then I was like, well, on average, it takes a normal comic book artist a day to do a page, like pencils, and then a day to do inks. And that's, I'm talking like not a day as in like a couple hours. I'm talking a day as in, what is it? What is it even doing? What is this? Oh my God. What is this brush? What do we got going on here? Oh my God. What is this one? This one's cross-hatching. What is this? This is kind of neat. I'm just trying to like put down a little bit of texture, like we're at like using like 50% on this brush. It's all splattery and weird, and we're gonna try to roll with it. But yeah, so that was kind of the thing that I was having problems with. And I guess maybe like doing the actual work, like I don't know, but I was like, how the heck am I gonna like sit down here and do, you know, like 8 hours of me like drawing? Like I have problems sitting in the chair for 8 hours anyway, let alone like sitting down and trying to get a page done. Like work aside, like I'm just a fidgety individual. And so I was kind of like, well, I mean, maybe I can do like some of it off screen. And I was like, well, does that betray the original vision? And I just kind of got like in my own head a little bit. As you can see, sometimes that happens to me. We are going to mess with that background. Ooh, there's like a little bit of blue in here. That looks dope. We're gonna try to roll with that a little bit. You feel like you have to step away though? Yeah, that's the other thing is like, I don't think I can sit down and draw for 8 hours just because like I will lose my ability to do what I do. Like I don't think that you understand the ADHD life. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, so it's like, okay, like this is going to require me to sit down and sit down and come back, because sometimes get so into it you end up screwing things up. Yeah, absolutely. That happens with like coloring as well. I am a big proponent in like walking away and coming back. I think is a useful tool for all art. Like clearing your headspace and looking at something else for a day is important. This is kind of like turning into like something kind of like folk arty almost. I kind of dig that. So, all right, let's start to kind of figure out the rest of this. I don't know what I'm doing down here. Full disclosure. I'm just trying to make happy accidents happen. Trying to be open to the process. Not overthink it. I guess it's fine. You top out about 2 hours before you have to get in and read a comic or watch an episode, and then you can do another 2 hours. Yeah, maybe I'll try to like do a 2 hour straight. Like the other thing is that like I haven't done actual pages in forever. So I think maybe I need to like I'm going to be doing Curse the Iron Chef and like literally figuring out how to do pages while I'm doing those pages. Like they're going to be the first pages that I've done in a long time. Oh, whoa. So like some of the things that I need to figure out for myself is get up and do the dishes. Yeah. Cleaning's perfect. Yeah. I totally agree. One of the things that I'm trying to, by the way, figure out what we're doing with getting rid of the line art, and maybe also where we are going with we're going to start at some point painting above the line art. I'm trying to figure out like where we are going to land with that. Yeah, you can draw for 10 hours, but every 2 hours, so you got to take a break. Yeah. I actually, so with coloring, I can color like a very, very long time. It's tough to stream in color for a very long time for me just because I'm not used to talking this whole time. That's why my streams are usually shorter. By the way, what I'm doing right now is just kind of like trying to feel out where this is going. Like we're doing very, very broad strokes. Trying to get to a place where this is like we can start working on manageable details. I'm just like chucking down layers like crazy. You guys think back to your first painting classes where the professor broke us off into pencil sketches and line art, all like just slap painting on the canvas, let the color be your sketch. Yeah, absolutely. You struggled with painting. Painting's tough. Yeah, so I don't know. So I'm figuring out exactly how to do longer projects on stream. I think it's going to be a learning process. The other thing is like I was saying, I'm trying to learn how to do pages as well. One of the things that I need to learn is like, okay, like, am I doing everything traditional? I know I want to like ink traditionally. And I know that after I ink it traditionally, I'm going to drop it into Photoshop and like fix all my mistakes, for lack of a better term, and kind of like half color it. I was thinking about gray toning it. But we're getting there. We are getting there. But at the beginning of the process, watercolors helping you get out of the line work aspect. Yeah. Nice. It's good to get out of your comfort zone too. Every time I see like a comic artist mess with other mediums and things like that, it always makes me really happy because I think that stuff is really important. We're going to real quick copy and paste this mask so we can preserve the line art in a channel, just in case we decide that we're gonna flatten. So yeah, the thing that I'm kind of like mentally struggling with is I don't think this needs Kirby Crackle. Like before I get to the inking step, like I have an idea of what I want to do for the inking. I have an idea of like what I want to do for the coloring, obviously. But when it comes to like where I want to take it, hold on, I'm thinking about like what we're working on here. When it comes to like where I want to take it when we start doing like layouts, like do I want to do the layouts digitally and try to print it on Bristol board? Do I want to do the layouts traditionally and try to like do it traditionally, like kind of blow it up and then like light box it and then like kind of like half pencil, half trace kind of thing? Like, do I want to, is there another way that like I haven't even thought of yet? Like this kind of problem solving, the thing about this kind of problem solving is like, it's only going to happen when the rubber meets the road. Like I can't figure that stuff out until I'm like in the mix. I think whatever you're feeling. Yeah. I think you're right. But like, this is the thing is, so it's like, whatever I'm feeling, like we'll just do, we'll try it. But like, I also want to make a good stream for you. And that goes incongruent. It's like those two things are incongruent. Incongruous? Is that a word? Those two things don't go together because like I want, like a stream needs a plan and a stream needs like I can't just be like, a stream needs a plan in so much as, thank you, Kate. A stream needs a plan in so much as like, I need to set up the camera here and the layout for this. Like I can't be like, start sketching over there and then be like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work. Let's go to the computer and then print out a thing. Like I can't bounce around. Unless Craig has some ideas on like how to set something like that up. but I don't know that he necessarily does. I mean, do you? Well, don't get after me about it. I'm just saying, like, I don't have any ideas either. Alright. Anyway. Maybe we should be on top of everything? Yeah. Being on top of everything. So we're kind of painting the form of the cheek and stuff, but we're keeping it real vague. Blasting light from behind the missing eye. Yeah. So I was thinking about that, but like, I was worried that if I did that too much, that I would end up in a place where the whole thing was backlit, and that's not where I wanted to be. So we are gonna like try to like trace out the figure like this. Like kind of make the back of her like feel hot almost. We're gonna be like, this is kind of where my head is at as far as this stuff goes. But I don't know if we're going to be like do a session traditional line work, then do another dig color. Yeah. Thanks, man. We're trying out here. Really new to digital painting, so appreciate it. Appreciate the encouragement. We can kind of like get this to like shimmer a little bit too. That'd be kind of neat. Where it's kind of like vague, but it's hot. It's vague and hot. I don't know. Is that a thing? I don't even know. Just layer on top of layer. More layers will fix the problem. I didn't think we were gonna get this far on this. I thought that because I was ranting and raving like a madman, like a maniac about my mania, that like we were gonna go a little bit long, but I don't know. Maybe we're getting there. The first digital painting I did, by the way, was in a Team Fortress 2 comic book. It's not good. It's not good. It's basically just like an overblown like cut and grad rendering. Mania zine when? Yeah. Layers are good friends of mine. How's it going, Taki? So I'm just trying to be very, very gentle with how this is going. But yeah, I didn't think we were going to get this far, actually. Let's think. Let's think about what we're doing. We can zoom in. We can get a little more specific with this. What is even hair? Why would people even have hair? That's what I want to see. This is what happens. What are we? 135? I start mentally melting down. Just like, I'm just gonna say words. I know words. I know all the words. It's fine. Words, words, words. And then all of you wonderful people have to listen to it. I think what we're gonna do is since we are clearly just like rolling at this point, I'm gonna select everything and just flatten it. We've chucked the line art officially. Just done with it. Kind of. I should totally make a print of this. I should not. The print market is terrible for Comic Cons right now. If the print market comes back, I will make a print of this, but this is the thing is like I don't know that the print market at shows is like decent. What brush is that? I don't even know. What I was just using. I was using this like textury brush. This guy. This is I can send this one to you, Taki, because we're buds. This is like a toothy brush. I pulled it out of a set by Chun Lo from their Patreon. If you subscribe to their Patreon, you will be able to get that brush. And all the other brushes that they use. Yeah, this is the thing. The thing about cons is that like prints don't really sell well, and the only prints that sell well now, in my experience, I mean maybe I'm wrong about this, but the prints that sell well, it's not specifically for comic creators. Yes, the prints that sell well are the guys that have like an entire wall of prints. The guys who are like, here's every character that you could ever want from this thing. Do you want Harley Quinn? Do you want Attack on Titan? Do you want I don't know, Scooby-Doo? I've got it all. Here's 400 headshots. Like that's the stuff that's like moving at comic book shows, unfortunately. Because I say unfortunately, not like crapping on anybody's parade, but like unfortunately for me, because like although like something like this is interesting and fun and is cool, and I like it, I don't know that it would actually sell, because people would be like, "What is this for?" You know, like there's that thing that I would have to deal with. And I'm like, well, it's not, it's just art. You just buy it is what you do. Just shut up and buy it. Oh my God. I actually, speaking of, shut up and buy it. I actually, this last show, I'm trying to figure this out. Hold on. I'm like, do we even do anything for this? Just leave it blank. I think the more I fuck with it, the more it's looking bad. I think we gotta roll it back. At this show, it was really hard to sell. I signed a lot of Heartthrob, but I didn't actually sell a lot of Heartthrob. And I think that, and this was Rose, but this has been kind of indicative of always. Robert and Chris, the writer-artist on Heartthrob, they both like go to a lot of shows. Thanks, Ron. They both go to a lot of shows, so I feel like anybody who wants their book or wants Heartthrob gets it from them, but even they are kind of like struggling to make news. Like we have like a small rabid fan base, And like I sign a lot of books, but I don't sell like any. I think in Rose I didn't sell a single one. And I was talking to Robert about this, and he was like, well, people like don't know what it is. Like they see it and they're just like, what is this thing? And Robert was like, between you and me, I'm just like, it's $10 for 5 issues. Just buy it. What are you doing? Like, if you're attracted to it and you want to try it, just go. Which I can totally get behind. The struggle is real at the table. Let me just say that. Wait, what? Wait. Oh, I'm using a stamp. Probably don't light under the nose like that. Okay, what else are we doing with this? I feel like we're getting there. We're trying to keep to the original image, like this like crazy line that like Mike put through it is like delicate and wonderful, and so we're trying to keep to the original image there. But yeah, let me tell you what doesn't work. Let me tell you what doesn't work at the table. Shut up and buy it. That does not work at the table. You don't move a lot of books that way. But everyone should shut up and buy Heartthrob. I love that book, and it doesn't get enough. It doesn't get enough readership nearly as much as it should. All right, let's think about something. What if we mess with the levels? Kind of like blow it out a little. This is something that sometimes I get kind of like they were just as surprised as me. So Shut Up and Buy It worked one time. I guess it worked one time. So this is something that sometimes I get like lost in the woods. We were talking about how, excuse me. We were talking about how, you know, you need fresh eyes for things. Messing with the levels, like moving from this to this, like this is clearly where I want to be, but I had just like, I don't know, I wasn't in the right mindset or something, or I just like all the layers kind of like left me at a point where like this is where we were at, and which was like a little more delicate maybe than where we wanted to be, and like this is kind of where we want to be. How much you got is your usual. I like that. How much you got? How much is this? How much you got? I had a lot of people assume that the Realm stickers that were clearly marked $5 for all three were I had a lot of people, and this isn't to disparage anyone, maybe my signage is terrible, that's a wild possibility, assume that they're free, and also assume that they are one for $5 rather than all three, which is probably the fault of my signage. So we are going to try to abandon the line art wherever we can. that means we are having color run up against color. Like, that's the idea. So, like, the line art looks really great for the neck, and like this line's actually like really interesting. So maybe we'll keep it, but I do want to darken the neck in such a way that it looks like it's painted rather than line art. We should stop talking, and you should give me your money now. I had the most wild conversation that I had when I was there from someone who was working, or somebody who came up to the table was, and I'm sure that that person is not watching right now, because he opened with this gem of I don't like media. He was like, I don't like games of any kind, and I never consume media. And I was like, what are you doing here, buddy? Like, I can't sell you anything. I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. The guy like really threw me for a loop. Like, it was so strange. I don't know why he was there. He was an engineer for software, and he told me he's been a software engineer since the 80s. He was an older guy, and yeah, I was just like, I can't wrap my mind around you, sir. Please stop talking to me. You're breaking my brain. They had no kids with them. There were no kids to be seen. They were just there doing their thing. And like, you know, like what you like, you know, whatever. But also like, dude, you've never seen a movie before? Like, really? You don't consume any media, any at all. You've never enjoyed a movie? Okay. Just like, what? Who are you? Man, we are overworking this thing. Am I right, chat? We are definitely. I don't. There might be a point where like the line art would have looked better. We're gonna try to figure that out. Maybe we'll get rid of it in certain places and then keep it in others. We're gonna figure that out kind of as we go. We are also gonna try to paint in these like kind of like scales. How should we do this? Later, Kate. Because they're confused what media is. No, they were not confused. Because I asked him, "You've never seen a movie? Like, you don't have a favorite movie?" And he was like, "No." I was just baffled. It's like especially baffling because like, you know, he is where he is, and also like I spent my whole life consuming media and enjoying it, and I was just like, "Sir, please, you've broke my brain. You can leave now." Is this a skit? Am I being punked? I don't even know. It doesn't make sense to me. But it's okay. He'll never see this cuz we're currently in media. And really spent money to get through the door to the media heavy event. He's the target market. We got to crack. Yeah. I tried being like, "Hey, have you heard of this? What do you like?" He doesn't like anything. That's the thing. Not a thing. I don't know. Maybe we do want to keep some of the line art. I think that I'm starting to hit that fatigue that I was talking about before. I think I'm like I think when I was up here, I was fresh, and now that I'm down here, I'm like, let's just get it done. Yeah, just yeah. Like it's just what? Why? Yeah, exactly. That exact emoji. The what? All right, I think we're gonna break this up into two pieces, and or two more, or another stream is what I meant to say. Two pieces. This painting, and then we're gonna finish it tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. We're gonna try to finish this Thursday. I definitely have it all together, and my brain is definitely not fried. We're gonna finish this on Thursday. If I have time tomorrow, we might become a sports champion. I might do a video game stream in between just to take a break, and because I did want to do that video game stream, we might, if I have time, work on some layouts? Question mark? This is the thing is so I want to provide a good quality stream for you guys, and I like do most of my streaming like during the week, and in my professional capacity I'm a colorist, and so I don't want to muddy up the waters during the week, but if I have time, I do kind of want to work on stuff. Like I want to check stuff out. So we might do some drawing, and you're going to have to be patient with me, because that's the way it's going to work. With patience. I think the key to getting Curse of the Iron Chef done is to grab every single moment I possibly can and not think, oh, I'll work on this on the weekends, because otherwise it's just going to take forever. So, dear reader, and I know you're not readers, you're listeners, and I know that you're not listeners, you're viewers. We are going to, you know, finish off this nice lady. We're gonna try to ignore where the legs are, eventually, and then figure out the whole skirt situation. Do the details on her you know, all her jewelry and stuff. I think it's gonna be really interesting. I think it's gonna be a really interesting piece once it's done. So one of the things that I'm kind of running up against that I realized I was too fried to emotionally handle was, or think critically about, was, so Mike, this is obviously a sketch, and we're dragging it, you know, kicking and screaming into a final product, and Mike was very cartoony with it, and when he was cartoony with it, there is a quality of line that is interesting in there, and I don't think that, like, when I look at like the hands, I don't think that like the hands there are like able to be digitally painted without me drawing my own hands. And this is something we talked about when we did the flats, about how like there is an idea of like how to do an ideal hand versus how to cartoon a hand, how to make something a cartoon. So I think we're running into a little bit of that. Like I started running into it a little bit here in the arm, where like suddenly it turned into, like, it wasn't built to be a fully realized cylinder. It was like with muscular structure in there, it was built to be a cartoon. So we're going to try to emotionally figure that out. Well, not emotionally, but actually figure that out. When we do the last of this piece and finish it off. I've got a couple things that I'm excited about for the stream in the future. We're going to be talking about how to choose colors. A very, very basic level. We're going to do like a bunch of different versions of just flat colors on a couple pages. It's going to be fun, I think. And I had a viewer request like how to figure out different styles, and like if you should even be thinking about that, and like are you worried about getting pigeonholed and all that kind of stuff. So we'll figure We're going to figure all that stuff out. We're going to walk through it in the next couple of weeks. So that's what we got coming up. Like I said, maybe a sports champion. If not this weekend at least, will become a sports champion. I'm very excited about it because the PS3 tried to do what the Wii did, and they did it in a way that was like the least fun, but is also the dumbest. And I think that it can be really, really fun to make fun of, but not necessarily play. I don't know. It's gonna be a stream, that's for sure. Until definite Thursday, where we finish this guy up, everyone out there, keep making comics. I'll see you then.